Thank you very much. We're here. By the way, the J6ers are just out of prison. They're going to have the press conference today at 1 o'clock. Someone who's just been indicted and will spend 40 years in prison is one of the great men of this century, President Jair Bolsonaro of Brazil. Tell me, we're going to start war in Brazil. Talk to us about President Bolsonaro. Lula, the communists and the Marxists have indicted him for, guess what? For fighting a stolen election. The election was stolen from Bolsonaro, and here what they're doing is trying to imprison another great leader.
Thank you, Steve. So Bolsonaro was fighting against the fraud election, and they are now accusing him of thought crimes, something that he never did. He just thought, supposedly thought. They say that he was preparing a coup d'etat, but he was in Orlando, so that's why Eduardo and Jair Bolsonaro are saying, what kind of coup d'etat you can do in Orlando? Disneyland, you know, like Disney, Mickey Mouse. So it's not a coup d'etat at all. We are fighting to get our country back. Our country was kidnapped by the narcos, by the communists, and the China. China is taking over all of the country, all over the country. So we are fighting back that, and I hope with the war room Brazil, we can acknowledge America that you need to make these people accountable here. I have seen this happiness that you have exposing all the corruption, but you need to hold them accountable, unless they will come back and go after you all.
The fight for Bolsonaro is a global fight for liberty and justice. Bolsonaro is the Trump of the tropics. He led the Brazilian people to freedom. And the election in 22 was stolen. It was stolen by the Marxists. It was stolen by Lula and the corrupt judges down there. And President Trump and the administration ought to cut off their visas. And quite frankly, I think we ought to cut off all trade and diplomatic relations with Brazil until the indictment of Bolsonaro is dropped.
Yeah, we need to free our country. And it's very important. The South Atlantic is not in China's hand. We cannot let the communists take over Latin America. So that's why I'm with here with this book, the English version of Olavo de Carvalho, the philosopher professor.
Great man.
So that's the English version for all America understand. He was alone for more than 30 years, unmasking all the communists' hands in our government. So now we are fighting according to what he was teaching us to do. You can get this book on Amazon, and let us fight together against the Communist Party.
And you're going to be one of the co-hosts. We're going to launch War Room Brazil until this time, until Bolsonaro's free. Matt Boyle, Natalie, Dave Bratt, we got a couple minutes left. Give me your closing thoughts on day 2 of a historic CPAC.